Hi guys, welcome to today's session. I'm going to be doing a pen and ink drawing today, just for a little bit of a change of pace for a bit. And I've got the reference up next to me. I've got this Quill pen is the one I'm using, and then just some Winsor & Newton ink. It's going to be a kind of nice, fairly easy sketch. I'm not going to be working too strictly to the reference, something a bit more relatively fun this week. So I just want to start with, as always, just a few little kind of light notes to myself about the kind of overall shape of the subject. So we've got sort of top and bottom of the pear there. A little bit of a suggestion of the bulge out. Curving back in a little bit here. Yeah, so we've got this. This little bit with the stems popping out. And the other side of this sort of cleft in the pear. That gives us where the leaf is going to kind of pop down. I'm trying not to connect the lines up too much. Just initially, I'm keeping them a little bit, sort of a bit more vague and scratchy. So, and then we've got trying to keep kind of symmetry through the pear shape as well, make sure it kind of makes sense the way it's sitting. It can maybe do with being a little bit wider by the looks of it, and it's okay to make that correction. I'm not too fussed about that correction in the shadow. The only place we need to be really precious is just that's not too bad. And you can start to kind of track down a little bit for where the stem is going to run. And I'm going to start doing a little bit of shading now. So we've got a bit of hatching I can do up here. And a little bit up there as well. And then we know that the stem is going to go pretty dark all the way along. In particular at its sort of bottom left-hand edge, because that's where the light's kind of coming from the top left-hand side. So the bottom right-hand edge, sorry, is going to be a bit darker. Then can go a little bit more start to lay in some slightly more kind of interesting rhythms for the leaf. They're going to end up kind of crossing each other and sort of hatching a little bit. But to start with, I'm just kind of looking for where there are kind of ridges or textures, where things maybe rise a bit. So we've got a little bit of crossing going on there. And start to sort of find the veins of the leaf as well. And then I can also start to kind of further layer this cross hatching. So there's not one that you have to be too fussy or thought out about. We're going for a kind of loose feel, so have a bit of fun with it, definitely. Just putting a slightly darker border around this left-hand side of the leaf. Yeah, it's not too bad for the leaf, I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to start moving down now into the rest of the pear, putting some some sort of shadow form modelling in a similar sort of way, so kind of creating a little bit of rhythm through it. So I'm going to do some sort of light passes over the shadows. Again, looking at building them up and hatching them. And now I want to just start kind of creating a little bit more of a sense of the form on the light side. So again, just sort of hatching in from the outside, kind of following the form of the pear. Build the outline up here a little bit as well. But yeah, I'm starting to like how that looks. Got a nice bit of character to it. As I say, we're not going for a kind of super fussy finish necessarily. I'm trying to keep it loose, try to keep it fairly sort of fun. Try to play around with quite instinctive sort of hatching. So you're not thinking too much about your hatching, you're not getting too worked up about it. We can start to add a little bit more sort of dots and texture here and there on the pear as well. Which you don't see too much of in the reference, but adds a nice little bit of interest. And then the final thing I'm just going to do is sort of ground the pear a little bit, give it a little bit of a shadow underneath it. And then just have one final look over. final thing I want to do with this, I feel like it would be nice just with some sort of here and there, some slightly stronger, sort of bolder graphic lines. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, apologies for sliding across a little bit there during the drawing. But yeah, you get an idea for the overall sort of style. I can zoom in a little bit closer for you guys to have a look. Make sure it's crisp. Yeah, and there we go. So I've got the reference available in the link if you want to work from the same pair as me, or you can just use any piece of fruit. And as I say, I was just using a kind of fairly standard Quill pen. It's just like a few quid from an art shop, some fairly standard cartridgey paper, maybe a bit heavier than cartridge paper, and then just some Winsor Newton black ink. So hopefully you enjoyed that. As always, you can subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with all our lessons. And see other content from OCAD as well. And if you want to have a look at our paid qualifications, you can click the link through to the school in the description below. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon.